In recent years, a lot of evangelical Christians have been claiming that there are Bible prophecies which show that Iran will attack Israel, and that this will happen near the time of Christ's second coming, which they suppose is in the near future. Now, ironically, very ironically, many of these same evangelicals have tried to get the U.S. and other countries to prevent Iran from attacking Israel. What's interesting is that if they succeed in preventing or stopping Iran from attacking Israel, then it would wipe out their version of Bible prophecy. It would show that their Bible prophecy is false, or it would show that the Bible itself is false, because for their version of Bible prophecy to be true, Iran has to attack Israel. And if a person believes that something is part of Bible prophecy, that a certain event needs to occur, and that the Bible shows that it will occur, it would be foolish for him to try to prevent the event from occurring, and it would also be foolish for him to try to cause the event to occur, because if it is part of Bible prophecy, and if the Bible is true, then the event will occur regardless of whether somebody tries to stop it, and regardless of whether someone tries to cause it. So it would be better just to let the Bible prophecy work itself out, and then you can see whether it's true or not. Also, I have looked at the Bible verses that these certain evangelicals claim shows that Iran will attack Israel. And basically it's Ezekiel 38. And I have looked at those verses, and it shows that Persia attacks Israel. And a lot of us know that Persia corresponds roughly with Iran. But I believe that those verses were talking about things that happened thousands of years ago. And the reason I say this is that Ezekiel 38 is closely linked with the previous chapter, Ezekiel 37, which talks about the ancient nation of Israel becoming one nation after it had been two nations for quite a while. Important to remember, a long time ago, Israel was one nation, and it had split into two separate kingdoms. And then God or somebody restored it as just one kingdom. And it appears to me that that was during the time period right around the same time that Persia attacked Israel, or right before Persia attacked Israel. So I do not believe that it has anything to do with modern day Israel and modern day Iran. It was back in the days, probably near the time that verse in the Bible was written. And remember that each book of the Bible was written long before it was included as part of the Bible. So I believe that there are very few, if any, prophecies in the Bible that have not yet been fulfilled. I believe that virtually all of the Bible prophecies were fulfilled by roughly the end of the apostolic era. In particular, I believe that the Whore of Babylon and the beast, whose number is 666, were in power around the time, or at the time, that the book of Revelation was written, and that it is not some modern day entity or futuristic being that comes to power in the future. So that's just my views on it. Oh, remember the book of Revelation. That was written probably about 1900 years ago, and it started out as a book on its own. It did not start out as part of the Bible, and it was sent to these 7 churches and various people that were alive at that time. It was sent out to them, conveying them a message. And a bit later on, the Bible was compiled, and the book of Revelation was included as part of the Bible. Yet the message in the book of Revelation was for the people that read the book of Revelation back before it was included as part of the Bible. It was not to convey information to modern day people. And the first verse of the book of Revelation has the author saying that he was talking about things that would happen soon, would happen shortly. So I assume he meant that things would happen soon after he wrote the book, or soon after it was supposed to be read by that first group that would read the book of Revelation, which was a long, long time ago. And so it would not be talking about things going on today. And let's see what more you can glean from that. I also believe that the book of Revelation and various other parts of the Bible are talking about certain spiritual events that would occur, would not necessarily be physical events on earth. And so like the Battle of Armageddon and the Lake of Fire and the Tree of Life being on earth, those things are mentioned in the book of Revelation, and I would see those more as spiritual things, spiritual events, and not things that occur in our future. And I also apply that same principle to Matthew 24 and related verses, where it talks about the Jerusalem temple being destroyed. A lot of evangelicals think that those verses referred to a new temple in Jerusalem that would be built in our future, at some point in our future, and that temple would get destroyed or defiled shortly before Christ's coming. But I believe that those verses were talking about the temple that existed at the time Christ made his statement. And about 40 years later, the temple did in fact get destroyed. And so I don't see any Bible verse showing that a new temple will be built in Jerusalem or anywhere else in our future, in the future compared to the time in which I am right now speaking. Now, it's possible some people will build a new temple there in Jerusalem, but that doesn't mean that it's part of Bible prophecy. And even if it is part of Bible prophecy, it doesn't mean that it is in the prophecy that Matthew 24 talks about. See, so something might be part of Bible prophecy, yet it doesn't mean that people are using the correct Bible verses to show that it's part of Bible prophecy. I think it's important to try to come up with the right Bible verses if somebody is into this business of coming up with a Christian Bible prophecy. And I know there are probably a lot of well-meaning, intentioned people who disagree with my view of Bible prophecy, but sometimes good intentions and good motives are simply not enough. You need to also look at the facts, try to decipher what the biblical authors wanted their hearers to understand, and that they were writing to people back in those days. They were not writing to today's people, not writing to people that will exist in the future. They were writing to people back then, and then these writings were eventually included as a part of the Christian Bible, and very nice writings, yet it's important to realize that these authors were writing to people back in those days. So when we read those portions of the Bible, it is as if we are reading somebody else's mail. It's as if somebody wrote some mail to somebody, and later on that piece of mail was included as part of a Bible, and hundreds of years later people still reading the Bible and that piece of mail, yet the mail was not sent to the people that are reading it in the Bible. It was sent to people that were supposed to read it before it was even included as part of the Bible. So long, no?